A child in KwaZulu-Natal has suffered serious injuries after reportedly being attacked by a pack of dogs. The animals are believed to have been kept at the school premises when this happened. The NSPCA Special Investigations Unit Manager is Nazareth Appalsamy, who's with us on News at Prime tonight. A very good evening to you, sir. Grateful for your time. So, what would make a pack of dogs attack a child in this way?
Good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. So there could be a variety of reasons why a pack of dogs could have attacked a child, and what provoked the attack, we are not sure. I think what one needs to ask is, what was a pack of dogs doing on the school property apparently since 2021?
Right, and from the report I've seen, it said that some pupils and some parents had raised concerns about the presence of these dogs on school premises, but the school principal took no action. So does that mean the principal is the person who should be held responsible for the attack?
I think that the victim or the victim's family needs to first open a case in terms of the Animal Matters Amendment Act, which is enforced by the South African Police Service. And then an investigation needs to be conducted as to how many parents actually did lodge a complaint and what action was taken, if any.
Right, and I do want to go back slightly to that first question that I asked you about what it is that would make dogs attack a child in this way. And you said there are various reasons. What might those be, and how do we even determine that? Has there been intervention, for example, from an organization such as yours to try and figure that out?
So I think it's not just South Africa that has a problem with strays. It is a global problem. And strays react differently when threatened or provoked. And in this case, we are unsure what has caused the pack of dogs to attack the child. I'm not saying that the child provoked the pack. I'm just saying right now we are unable to determine what actually caused the attack.
Mm-hmm. And what should happen now to the dogs when you consider that, from what we are being told, these were strays, so they don't belong to anyone, but had been allowed to stay on school premises? What is the best thing to do to deal with this situation, especially if we're trying to prevent further attacks?
I think the first thing the school needs to do is that they need to get hold of the nearest animal welfare society in the area of Ikopo. If there isn't one, they need to make contact with the nearest SPCA and officially report the matter. I think the second thing the school needs to do is that they need to beef up the security fencing and make sure that animals can't get in and out, and also address the concern that they currently have with the pupils, educating them on to avoid these animals, not to provoke these animals. If they are seen, report it to the teachers, and then necessary action taken to ensure that the proper authorities are called in.
And how common is it for the proper authorities, i.e. the NSPCA, to be called in to remove strays from school premises? I know in rural areas it is common to see dogs from the community on the premises. Even here, in fact, in urban areas, you do see the occasional stray cat more often on school premises, and everyone sort of goes, well, it's been here for years, and no one does anything about it.
So when it comes to stray animals and dogs that attack human beings, it's actually not the SPCA that enforces that act. And that falls under the ambit of municipal bylaws. And those towns that have municipal officers that enforce bylaws are actually the people responsible for stray animals. The NSPCA solely enforce animal legislation and deals specifically with animal welfare and animal cruelty issues.
Does the same rule apply, for example, that whenever we speak of, let's say, wildcat attacks on humans, we've seen the animals put down, as was the case with the tiger that attacked a man at the beginning of this year in Gauteng? Does the same rule apply in the case of a pack of dogs that bit a child?
In most cases, the animal is humanely euthanized, and that is because it is very difficult to rehabilitate an animal that has attacked a person. It is not impossible, it is just very, very difficult.
How would you rehabilitate such an animal?
Well, in most cases, there is no rehabilitation. The animal is humanely euthanized.
I wanted to find out about the minority of cases where you said it's not impossible, but it's just difficult to do. That's what I was trying to tease out from you.
Well, one would have to get an animal behaviorist to assess the animal, study the animal, and then an informed decision is made on whether the animal can be rehabilitated or not.
Nazareth Appalsamy from the NSPCA in KZN. Good to speak to you, sir.